Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a very basic Discord bot using Discord.js, and then at the end of the video I'm going to be showing you how to deploy this Discord bot with Nubo. So first thing we're going to want to do is actually register a new Discord application. We can do that by going to discord.com/developers/applications. You're going to sign in with your Discord account, and then we're going to register a new application. I'm just going to call it tutorial for the sake of this tutorial. Verify that I'm a human. Awesome. We're going to need to know this application ID, and also we are going to need to get a token here, but we'll hold off on doing that for a moment. We can now get started to actually create the Discord bot. So in a new folder here, I just called it Discord.js tutorial. Let's first initialize a new Git repository there, and then I'm also going to do bun init here, and I'm just going to do blank. Awesome. So that's going to kind of scaffold a new project for us. If I ls, you'll see we have a index.ts, bun.lock, and then some other stuff here. So I'm going to first want to install Discord.js, so I'll do bun add Discord.js, I believe it is. Discord.js. Alright, now that that is installed, I'm going to, first thing I'm going to want to do is create a function here, essentially that will, or something we can run that will actually register our commands to the Discord API. That way we can, utilize the slash functionality in Discord. So I'm going to create a new file here, just call this register commands.js, and we're going to want to import a few things here. We're going to import REST along with our routes. Alright, and that we're going to import that from Discord.js. Now I'm going to create a new array called commands. And now this is going to be a name and a description. It's going to be an array of objects. So I'm going to first do an object here. I'm going to call this, the first field here is going to be name, and I'll just call that ping. The second one here is going to be description. Whoops. Cannot type today. And we're going to say replies with Pong. So we have one command here. Of course, in the future when we go to add further commands, you're going to want to, add those to this array here. Next, we're going to grab a new REST instance by doing new REST. This is going to be version 10. And we're going to want to do set token process.env.token. So, of course, we need to actually define our environment variables. With bun, the environment variables are automatically loaded if it detects that there is a .env file. So, we don't need to do anything additional, but if I'm using npm or just node, for example, you're going to want to install a package that allows you to pull stuff from your .env file, and I believe that package is called .env. You can refer to our documentation for the process if you're using Node. But in our case, we don't need to do that, so I'm just going to head to our .env here, and I'm going to do our our client ID and our token. So we're going to want to head back to our Discord developers portal. The client ID is going to be this application ID. So I'm going to copy and paste that. And then heading down to bot, I'm going to hit reset token to generate a new token for us. I'm going to copy that here. Of course, you wouldn't want to share this token with anyone. It's going to be deleted after this tutorial, so it's fine if you see it. But so now that we have set those in our .env, when we start up this when we run this file, essentially it's going to load our environment variables from the .env, and that will allow us to then have access to this one here. So we're going to now do a try catch block here. And in the try block here, we're going to first do await, and then we're going to do rest.put routes.application command, application commands, plural, and then we're going to pass our client ID. So we'll do process.env.client ID. And we are also going to pass in a body here, which is just going to be commands. Now, if this does fail, we can catch the error here. So in our case, we'll just do console.error. Error. Probably should name this something else, but it's fine for now. And then we are going to just log at the bottom here, successfully registered /commands. Cool. So we have a function here now, or a file here, that will register our commands with Discord. So if we head to a new terminal here, we can do bun run, and then we're going to say our register commands.js, and it's going to say successfully registered /commands. So that's awesome. So now that that is done, we can actually create our bot logic itself. Now, if you're using Bun, it's going to automatically create an index.ts file. And technically, when we go to deploy with Nubo, it will be using Node under the hood, just because we don't have support just yet for the Bun runtime. So, that being said, I'm going to want to change this to JS, because if we're using Node, we don't have TypeScript compatibility just yet. So inside here in our index.js, we're going to import a few more things here: client events and gateway intent bits from Discord.js. Alright, and then we are going to actually develop or create a new client instance here, and we're going to say intents is going to be an array of gateway intent bits dot guilds. Alright, now we can then have a event listener essentially here. So we'll do client.on, and then the event we want to listen for here is client.onReady. So when our bot is essentially ready, we are going to then pass a callback function that will get run when our bot is online. And we'll just say logged in as, and then we'll just pass in ready client dot user dot tag. So when our bot starts up, it's just going to print this simple message to the console. And then we're going to want to create another event handler that's going to actually be listening for certain interactions. Those interactions are our commands. So I can do client.on, and then I'm going to say events.interaction create. This is going to pass an async callback function. And we're going to want to first check to see whether it's not a chat command. So we're going to say if interaction dot is chat input commands. If not, we'll just return that. Next, I'm going to create we'll just do an if statement here because we only have one command. If we had more than one command, we can simply use a switch statement here, but for now this is fine. So I'm just going to do interaction dot command name. If that equals ping, we're going to await an interaction dot reply, and we're going to say pong as we said in our description. All right. And then last but not least, we're going to want to do something here. We're actually going to log in the client. So client.login, we'll do process.env.token, pass in that secret token. So this is the basic bare minimum here that we want to do to get a Discord bot up and running. To test this, I'm going to run this locally, so just to make sure that this works. So if I do bun run index.js, hopefully everything works. It says it's logged in as our user, so that's great. I'm going to head back to the Discord developers portal, and I'm going to head to, I believe it's OAuth. Let me see. So I'm going to just do, let me see, or bot here maybe. I got to find the bot permission. So if I do administrator, it's going to be 8. And then I should be able to go to, is it installation? We'll just do guild install, and then we'll copy set that to bot, and then administrator, and we will save those changes. I'll copy this link here, and then hopefully it should allow us to invite this individual to our server here. So our bot, and I'm going to add to server discord.js testing, authorize administrator privileges, and of course I gotta say I'm a human. Cool, so now our tutorial bot is in our Discord server, and let's test to see whether or not our ping command works. So if I do /ping, you'll notice first of all our command has been registered. That is what the register commands file does there. If I do that, it should hopefully reply with Pong. So it did not respond. Let me see if there's any type of error in the console. Oh, so obviously have a typo here. Interaction. Should probably spell that correctly. If I then rerun this here, now if I try to do this now, retry, it should hopefully return Pong. Did I spell it wrong 2 places maybe? What? Where is this coming from? Interaction. Oh, interaction.reply. Now, I think what, 3rd time's the charm there. It replies with Pong. We can just test that one more time. Ping. And it should hopefully respond with Pong. Cool. So now that we've tested that this works locally, we're going to want to get this deployed with Nubo. So basically the first thing that we're going to want to do here is create a inside of our package JSON, we're going to want to create a scripts section here, which is essentially just an object. Let me save this so I get my formatting right. We're going to want to create a start script, which is going to simply be node and then index.js. Like I mentioned earlier, bun support, the bun runtime is not directly supported with Nubo just yet. So under the hood, it's going to be using node. So in our start script, which tells Nubo what to run when we start up our server, this is going to just be index node.js. So sorry, it's going to be node index.js. All right, now that we have the start command configured, we can head on over to the Nubo dashboard. I'm going to create a new project here and call this Discord bot tutorial. Select on that project, and I'm going to select a new frame. There is going to be, this right here is the same exact repository, just what I created earlier. So I'm going to select this, and then the application port doesn't matter, so start doing that there. And while that's going, I'm going to start creating these variables here. So I can hit settings, environment variables, and then I'm just going to go back to my .env file and copy those. Cool. Alright, it says successful, so going to see what it says in the console here. Alright, it says it's logged in as us, so that's great. And if we head back to our Discord client, the bot is now back online, which is awesome. I can test this by doing ping, and it replies with Pong. Awesome. That's getting a simple Discord bot deployed with Nubo. It's a relatively straightforward task. Of course, there's many different things we can do here to kind of explore future things with Discord.js. But for now, we got a Discord bot up and running. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or run into any issues, feel free to reach out in the comment section. Have a good rest of your day.